Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm John Blanco and this is Turquoise Sunsets, and today we have a special guest from Cebu. It's none other than JR from JRC Consultancy, Visa and Immigration. And I have a few questions for him, and he's the man to ask because he is the founder and chief executive officer of JRC. So welcome to our channel, and I look forward to your thoughts.
Thank you so much, John, for the opportunity to be in your channel.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up the hill to Valencia.
Likewise here.
You've had a busy night, a busy day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll always make time for you.
Oh, well, there you go. I appreciate that.
Like for us also to provide good information, reasonable one, and the right information as much as we can to the best of our abilities for the benefit of your subscribers.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming up.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks too.
Well, we've taken a long time to decide this. My wife and I, we've been married 17 years actually.
Wow.
I know. And after my retirement, I retired about when I was 57 years old.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're 58 now.
58? Yeah, pushing 70, or shall I say 70. Oh my God.
Let's just put it 58. You're not 58.
58, okay. Oh, I like you already. JR's a good guy. Yeah.
I'm already 22. You're 58.
Yeah, you're 22 now? Oh God, you better tell your 10-year-old child that. 9-year-old, right?
Yeah, 9-year-old.
Yeah. So I have some questions, and you can talk about anything you want to as far as like other issues with the immigration process or visa process, more likely.
Sure.
Right? But you work in conjunction with the immigration department, right?
Yes.
You're not competing.
No.
But you work together, and they really need the help because they're overwhelmed, and without you guys and others, there's others a little similar to yours. I think I've seen them, but I know nothing about them. But without that help, they would really be overwhelmed.
True.
Yeah, because I've been in the regular immigration department, and I did have something. I had one extension done over there, and it was doable right here in Dumaguete. But now that I'm pursuing the permanent residency visa for myself as a foreigner, I want to be a resident of the Philippines. I'm going to use your service because there's a few steps involved, and it's a little bit more complicated. And what could you say the benefits would be from using you guys as opposed to the standard immigration department?
Yes. With your statement a while ago, you're actually correct on that matter because we work in cooperation with the Bureau of Immigration. We have our accreditation with the Bureau of Immigration so that we can actually transact with them regularly. Let's just imagine, let's do the quick math. Right now, the Philippine tourist arrivals around roughly for 2023, that's 5 million, over 5 million. And imagine extensions, visa applications that will be catered by or will be assisted by the Bureau of Immigration offices, not just in Manila but all over the Philippines. Just imagine that 5 million tourists. They do the extension, they do the permanent application.
Yeah, they're all doing it. They're all coming up against their deadlines.
Yes. And the Department of Tourism with our ever dynamic DOT secretary is pushing to have it the pre-pandemic level, which is almost 9 million. So we work in cooperation with the Bureau of Immigration with our accreditation that we renewed year on year to give an assurance to our foreign friends out there that we're actually legit.
Yeah, so they need to know that.
Yeah, we're legit. There are people that can, hey, I know how to process that. But at the end of the day, I always remind our clients that, hey, if you need a medication, you don't go to the bakery.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah. So the moral lesson of the story is, if you really wanted to have visa immigration stuff or other stuff, you need to go to someone who is doing it. Because they can give you approximately, not 100%, because there's no such thing as 100%, but roughly 90%, which is way above than expectation. Then they can give you what do you need, and they can help you out on that matter. So we are actually, during our seminar for our accreditation with the Bureau of Immigration, we're doing seminars, update of policies every year. The accredited firms for the Bureau of Immigration, and we are actually being recognized by the Bureau of Immigration as the brand ambassadors
Oh,
of the Bureau of Immigration.
oh, the ambassadors.
That's the first time that I mentioned that with my
Wow.
interview, because I just recall that now that during our orientation of the new laws and procedures of the Bureau of Immigration, which is done yearly, most of them told that all liaison officers who are accredited and firms accredited by the Bureau of Immigration, we are working closely with them as their brand ambassadors.
Mhm.
So there may be people that will say like, hey, I know how to process that, but eventually are they accredited with the Bureau of Immigration? That's the next question.
Mhm.
And it's now subject to now to the one who wanted to process it. Is he gonna go for it? The foreigner gonna go for it or not?
Mhm.
So there's a risk on that particular aspect.
Mhm.
So that's one of the assurance that we're giving to our foreign friends. Apart from setting up offices across the Philippines, we do have our office in Cebu, our main office.
And do you have other ones throughout? Like, did you
Yes.
just come from Sibulan this morning?
Yeah,
Is there an office there, or is that another matter?
that's another matter that actually a meeting
Oh, okay.
with the visa and real estate issues that needs to be verified. I'm just doing consultation on that time. Apart from our main office in Cebu, we do have an office in Dumaguete,
Mhm.
and we do have also an office in Manila.
Okay, so you do have one in Manila.
Yes, physical
So
office.
That's still not enough to handle all of. I mean, that seems like. Can I look at the paperwork involved with the 13A visa?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the way your staff initially, I began the process for my 13A visa, which was my New Year's resolution
Yay.
on January 3rd. So I decided I'm just finally going to do it, going to become a Philippine permanent resident.
Correct.
And so my next question is,
Sure.
by having the 13A visa, is there a possibility of future citizenship, or is that just out of the question? Even though I'm married, I can't really become a citizen, but I just keep renewing the permanent residency. Is there a path to Philippine citizenship?
Right now, we need to understand that the visa is actually a residency.
This residency.
Yeah. So that would not actually give way or give path to an outright right of being a citizen in the Philippines. However, there may be possibilities if and when, because the major consideration or grounds for the citizenship here in the Philippines, which will be given to a foreigner, is there should be a significant impact of that foreigner to the Filipino people.
Like Kyle,
Yes.
the other blogger,
Yeah, yeah,
is very famous. and
Yeah,
done a lot
becoming
of things.
Filipino.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Becoming Filipino.
yeah.
That's a plug for you, Kyle. Okay. Yeah.
So
He's got a great channel.
So 13A is a visa, which is actually forming part of the residence, and it does not actually discount you of the possibilities of a certain foreigner that can be naturalized, because we have
Naturally.
already one success story. However, that path of getting the Filipino citizenship might be long, might be also like takes a lot of effort for you to do so,
Okay.
because it will require for some politician, a congressman per se, to pass the bill, have that bill approved by the lower house and the upper house, and then eventually by the president.
Well, how about this? I'm wondering if there are any other benefits of a 13A, perhaps, like if I were to purchase land with my asawa,
Your asawa.
asawa, in her name, but I would like my name on there too. Would my name be on there, or is there any extra additional privilege I might have in securing my ownership to my land that I use my funds for my family and asawa?
That question might be taking a look at on, or
Lawyer.
might be viewed on the perspective of the visa, and that can be also viewed on the perspective of property regime in the Philippines as a legal spouse of the Filipino citizen. The visa will not give you any right to purchase a land in the Philippines or own a land in the Philippines. However, if on the normal circumstances, foreigner would marry who are married on who are married with the Filipino citizen normally will be recognized as a spouse on the land title.
So that has some weight.
Yes, that has some
So you
weight.
just can't
Yes, it has.
kick you out
No.
unless you're a bad boy.
Yeah, unless you're a bad boy. That's a
Really
good
bad
one.
boy. Yeah, then you get kicked out of the country.
And kicking out in a way,
I've heard it's happened too.
it is. And I think just
It's
to
not funny.
have a little bit to share of that a foreigner also who have been married to a Filipina has also to take a look at that particular visa can be cancelled out anytime because that visa is still a privilege being given
Yeah,
by
privilege.
the Philippine government.
Not a right.
Not a
It's
right,
It's a
correct.
privilege.
So that should be like something that we need. Our foreign friends should actually take a look at all times. Marriage is a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It will take a lot of you of compromise because take a look at this: a Western culture and a Filipino culture being brought into one room or one home.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a lot of compromise for you to really understand each other, and I'm very happy when I see couple like that they're actually living happily.
Yeah.
Brings me joy.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Right?
Yeah.
That's the objective why you did it, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you just have to be careful. Well, I didn't get married till I was 52 years old.
Oh.
First time, only
6
time.
years ago, because you're 58
Oh,
now.
6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago. What was it, 2007? Oops.
I'll be screwed with your wife
I
now.
think you gave it away. Yeah. So let me ask you another question, if
Sure.
you don't mind, about the 13A visa. In my case, I'm beginning the process. I'm about 3 weeks into it.
Mhm.
At some point, I'll be given I'll be in the probationary
Yeah.
period.
Correct.
And I'm still waiting for my appointment schedule for Cebu
Mm-hmm.
to an interview and another biometrics, I
Correct.
believe.
Correct.
Okay, and then they explained to at your office that then after that there will be I think maybe the ACR card.
Correct.
But when I do attain finally the probationary status, then I can freely exit and return back to America if I had to do something, because I still have a storage unit over there,
Mhm.
and that's not much else. But still, if I need to go back and do something and come back, can I exit freely and return freely?
Yes, that's a big.
With that card, whatever that probationary piece of paper,
Correct.
card, it'll
Yes.
be a card.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Big yes for that. And I just wanted to also to expound that a little bit more, because the procedure of obtaining the visa application process here in the Philippines is one, if you're actually submitting that, since you are located somewhere Visayas here in Negros, you have the option to submit that in the Bureau of Immigration District Office in Cebu.
Right.
So that's a bigger district. In terms of hierarchy, the district offices is the second biggest office from the main office.
Manila.
Yeah, Manila, correct.
Always Manila.
And apart from that, you also have the option to submit directly to the main office, which will take 1 month less in terms of processing time, because once you submit it in Cebu, they're gonna evaluate your documents.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the office that can approve your visa, only Manila.
Oh.
So that please, I
So
think
it's got to go from Cebu to Manila and
Yes.
then back to you.
yeah, back to Cebu for us to get your ACRI card. But anyway,
ACR card.
yeah, I'm just speaking about a quick run through of the process, because people should understand that. Jer, why is it taking so long? 4 to 6 months in the making? Yes, because right after the visa will be screened out in Cebu, after you have completed your paperwork and they actually received it, they're gonna evaluate it. Once after their evaluation, and normally the evaluation will take a month at least, and see and see the logistics. The logistics, they will actually send your physical folder applications to Manila, and then Manila will actually also do another round of verification before it will be approved with the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
Why 4 to 6 months? Evaluation for the approval will take you at least, that's the first step, a month in Cebu, and then probably another 1 to 2 months in Manila for approval. The second for approval will be the implementation. Implementation is the stamp of the approved visa from your approved. It's the actual visa stamp from
my
your approved.
passport.
Yes,
And at that point, I can leave the country, or I still need the ACR card.
got it correct.
The final ACR
Yes.
card. And on that ACR card, it also says something about my residency, permanent
Correct.
residency.
Yes, correct.
So I really can't leave, because I was thinking I wanted to go, I was going to try to go back maybe in 6 months. But it might be tight from now because I just started 3 weeks ago. So I'm not going to make any plans, but I might have to push that out to the end of what would be our summer.
If you intend to have that really, if there will be an urgent thing for you to leave the country after your visa will be implemented, you can also, you can leave. Well, we can process the what we call visa waiver, ACRI card waiver. That's in lieu of the
okay.
ACRI card, stating that that's a document that will actually supplement in behalf or in lieu with the ACRI card. However, if you can really stay and have that three things going with you: approved order, implemented visa, implemented stamp on your passport, visa stamp, and also the ACRI card, that would be best for you to have when you travel the country.
Yeah, I think I'll just wait and get all that first.
Yeah. So for the biometrics, right now I think it's also a good thing to point out that the Bureau of Immigration has lifted already the questionnaire. That's in
You mean the interview?
no, because during the COVID, they actually wanted to do away with a face-to-face interview because of the COVID restriction.
Right.
So the interview was done, forming part of the visa application. There's an actual interview for spouses.
Yeah.
It-
We have to both attend
Yes.
in Cebu.
Yeah. They temporarily suspended that during COVID,
Oh, but now it's back.
and now it's back.
So we're going to
That-
go together up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one way also to validate that marriage is really legal, it's
Yeah,
not arranged, and so on
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. Is that why they're doing another they're doing another biotech on
Biometrics.
biometrics on us when we go to Cebu
Yes.
to make sure I'm still the same guy that came to Cebu, that I did the initial stuff in Dumaguete, because they could have somebody could have taken my place.
That may be
Somebody might have
that
figured
may be the
that out.
case then. However, the biometrics is actually the forming part of the visa application process would be the data that will be used on your ACRI card, because there's a lot of ACRI card. As you all know, ACRI card in layman's term, it's actually an identification of your visa. So
Okay. So it shows right on there.
yes. So it has the ACRI card is basically a layman's term ID, identification.
Yeah.
It comes with different colors.
Yeah.
Did you know? Do you know that?
I've heard it's really. I've seen a friend of mine, Robin. He's got one. It looks real pretty.
What color is that?
Robin, a friend of mine.
Yeah. What is the color of the ACRI
Oh, I don't
card?
know, but it was really pretty. It was a lot prettier than my first one I got.
Yeah.
I see.
There is a gray ACRI card
Okay.
that is for tourists,
Yeah.
temporary visitor.
Yeah.
There is also a purple ACRI card.
Yeah.
That's on probationary spousal visa.
Yeah.
There's also a gold ACRI
He
card.
has gold.
That's a
permanent.
yes,
Yeah,
a
he went
permanent.
through the whole thing.
Yes.
And he did it completely himself. And actually, he initially encouraged me to get it, 13A.
Yeah.
And but he said, well, he's got all the paperwork because he did the entire process by himself. And he brought that folder over and showed me it, and I studied it, and I go, well, I could do this, but I don't have a printer. I don't want to go buy one just for this. And, just a bunch of other stuff and tedious stuff. And I'd just gone through getting a 6-month extension, and I'm not worried too much about the money,
Sure.
whatever the costs are, it's no big deal. So I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
There are still a lot of ways of how we can actually how a foreigner would actually take that, because every situation of a foreigner is
Yeah, it's
different and
different.
unique.
Some people can care less.
Yeah, so
Like, we kind of.
if they perceive that to like, hey, I can do it, then it's fine. They all have the right
and
to
they
do
have
it.
if they have the time, and
Yes.
we've got 2 kids, and it's hectic, and I just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I like I said, on the 6-month extension, which is totally separate from what we're talking about right
Yes.
now,
Correct.
I went into the regular immigration department, which is just a couple doors down from your JRC office,
Correct.
and I stopped in your office a couple times to compare and talk and learn and educate myself a little, and I tortured your people a little bit, but they were so nice and so clean and so beautiful. I mean, just a nice setting, and it was just. So I initially did the first 6 month my first 6 month extension at the regular immigration department, but I thought, boy, these guys are like, your paperwork is very efficient and very modern and well done. It's not faded materials, and I don't know, I just felt a little better about just going to JRC.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So that's what I did. Yeah, I just thought it just had a little bit better vibe. So, but yeah. So I did. The other thing I wanted to ask, and this may be the final thing about the 13A, is on the exit clearance, the benefits, advantages with the 13A visa. When I leave, do I need to get an exit? I mean,
No.
is it easier to get the exit clearance, or
No,
do I need it?
you'll not be required already with the exit
You won't have to
clearance.
have that
Yeah.
done anymore.
Yeah, because the exit clearance normally will be required for those tourists who have actually stayed more than 6 months. And normally the exit clearance will also be, there's another exit clearance that will be required when a certain foreigner will be downgrading from a permanent visa going back to the tourist visa. On your case,
I
you would
go
not
back.
need that when you have your spousal visa already been approved, stamped, and implemented.
Right.
And with your ACR, of course.
Yeah, in my ACR, yeah. The
50
ACR.
The 58-year-old ACR. Huh?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, the ACR card is something kind of new to me, because I'd always been here on the Balikbayan visa, like maybe 4 times already. And so I get a whole year. I was spoiled. It's like I didn't have to worry too much.
The whole year can be extended though.
Yeah, well, I did that once.
2 years more. Yeah.
You mean under the Balikbayan?
Under the Balikbayan visa, you're given initially 1 year.
Right,
That's for free.
right.
And you can actually extend if you really don't want really to go out to the Philippines. You can extend, and you will be forming part on a regular tourist visa extension. So that's additional 2 years.
Oh, but that's if you don't want to leave the Philippines?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I got to be free to go.
Yeah.
Just in case I got to go, or even take a vacation.
Yeah. And the Balikbayan visa will also require you, upon entry to the Philippines, that you should be entering the Philippines together with your Filipino spouse or
that's
your Filipino
another
children.
hassle with kids, because then you got to get airplane tickets for all of
Correct.
them.
And it will be much costly for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's forming part of the privilege of having you the spousal visa. You're gonna do away with the exit clearances, and you will not be required to have your return ticket upon entry.
That's another one, annoying one. That
So others
return ticket.
others say in the GC, because I'm also a member of some foreign GCs right now, they're gonna throw away ticket and solo stuff. But anyway, it still costs you something. So you have the privilege of not having that upon entry to the Philippines once you have the permanent residency. That's one. And also when you wanted to really you want to do something here, you're gonna set up a corporation here, you can also do the work, and you can actually manage your company and be exempted to the
Be a part of it.
Yes,
Yeah,
working permit.
not like now, if you're not a resident, a permanent resident, like the guys that sell stuff, has to have little things at the Sunday market. They have their wives. They pretend their wives are doing the work, but they're collecting all the money, right? Or whatever's going on. They got their own business, but they have to walk a fine line. Like
Sure.
the people that own
Exactly,
a restaurant, they got to say, well, it's not my restaurant, it's my wife's, my sawa, right?
Sure.
They have to say that, right?
Sure,
Because
sure.
they can't legally own it.
Yes.
So with the permanent residency, can I own a business like that, or do I still have to walk the thin line?
Owning a business in the Philippines is another story that we need to tackle. However, we can actually lightly discuss on that, because if a foreigner cannot own a single proprietorship business in the Philippines, single proprietor.
Single, but
Yeah.
with his wife, can he?
For a Filipino citizen, yes, he can own. She can own. But a
She's
foreigner cannot.
It's just the Filipino wife.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
spouse.
single proprietor. However, some of the avenue that a foreigner can legally and be recognized and registered as an owner is way of going to the corporation route.
Yes,
So-
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd have to have a good lawyer set that up.
Yes, true.
and
Not
do
just a lawyer,
corporation.
but an accountant as well.
Yeah, of course. You have to find an honest accountant.
Yes, because setting up a corporation in terms of ownership, that's at least maximum of 40%, but that varies on the industry.
Mhm.
What industry are you in? Are you into the diving industry? Are you in
Oh,
the
the
tourism?
diving, that's a real popular one.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the restaurant business. And there's a certain capitalization that there will be a requirement of setting up that corporation for them to recognize that there is a foreign investor on that. So that's actually the things that those are informations, small information that might be vital along the way when you set up a business in the Philippines.
Mhm.
With the 13A coming into play, with the business side of it, or the company is actually doing properly on that matter, the industry, the investments, the required capital. Now the 13A advantage would be they will be exempt to get the alien employment permit from the Labor Department.
Mhm.
They will not be required to have the working visa because you already have the spousal visa. That's one.
Ah,
That's one advantage. There's no double visa in the Philippines.
okay.
So if they don't have the spousal visa, they will be required to have the working visa. Once they have the working visa cannot be processed without the AEP, Alien Employment Permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. That's the Labor Department here in the Philippines. That's on the working visa. Now they have the 13A. If they have the 13A will actually give them the leverage or advantage to have in equivalent for the working visa. The visa is already taken care of.
Mhm.
The next stuff, which is also a good advantage for the 13A, is they will be exempt for the alien employment permit.
Mm.
So we just need to file the
Another-
exemption.
Ah, okay.
That's a big catch.
Yeah. yeah.
Because if I'll be retiring, I'll be 60 and I'm well capable of doing things. I would
You're going to be 60?
not yet. 22. you got me there.
I thought you were just 40.
22.
Well, now I don't have any more questions on this subject. Is there anything else you would like to share? Because we could actually do this again sometime if you ever want
Sure,
to.
definitely.
Anything else you want to? I'm going to ask my loveliest bride. Anything you would like to ask while we're at it?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to your questions earlier before I actually
Okay.
tape the video. Is the wedding ring during the interview matter?
Oh, yes. I almost forgot to do that.
Here.
Okay. Let me set this up though. Okay, when Marisa and I were married in 2007, August, she's sitting right over there. August. We were up against the wire with the fiance petition, and that was a 90-day thing.
Yes.
90 days. We're on the 87th day, and we had to scramble because, I just couldn't decide if I wanted to give up my bachelorhood. To be honest, but I was dragging my feet. Okay, I wanted to get married, but so I did. We did, and so we set up a chapel to get us married off. We did the license and everything in Reno, Nevada, to a little white chapel, and so that was a last minute deal. We had to grab a couple rings out of my jewelry box I had. I had a pinky ring with a diamond. It was a really nice diamond on it. Now don't laugh. A nugget ring, but it wasn't really a girl's ring. But anyway, so it fit her finger for the wedding, and then I had a big old piece of custom jewelry that goes on that finger. And so we officially had it and got married, and that was the main thing. We had a few witnesses, and that was it. So we made the deadline, which was the most important thing. We did not have a grand wedding, and we didn't have the caterers and all that stuff, but we did it, and we got it done, and now here we are 17 years later, living in the Philippines.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
the story had a happy ending.
Nice.
But now we were burglarized in Reno, Nevada. What year was that, my darling? What year was that?
I think 2014.
About 2014, a year after Brianna was born, and all of our jewelry was stolen, including our actual good stuff. And you had a lot of nice things, necklaces, what do you call pearl necklaces, and a bunch of stuff. And so I had a solid gold Swiss watch, which was stolen, and that was a biggie.
Nice.
But anyway, so after that, we were burned out on jewelry. Honestly, you said I don't want to invest in stuff that can be stolen again. So
Sure.
that was a lot of the reasons why we haven't gone out and purchased them again. So that's
Now you're
the.
gonna go to interview and you.
And now I'm going to go to the interview, right? And we're going to prove to the guy we're married, but he's going to go, oh, but I don't see any rings.
Mhm.
So what are we going to do?
I will actually start with that, and that's the first. You're the first one who asked me that, which is actually good.
Yeah, no one's asked that one. Not
yeah.
too many people, except I understand you were.
Yeah. Probably you're keen on small details. Small things matters.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I'm the immigration officer right now and you presented me that, hey, you're couple, okay, the first thing that I'm gonna look
Isn't he
forward.
going to look? He should look.
Probability is yes.
Maybe.
I'm talking right now as a.
But he might think I'm an idiot if
No.
I was trying to scam him.
No.
Because no one would be that dumb to forget a ring.
Yeah. I think a wedding ring would be one of the physical attributes or one of the physical evidence, shall I say, that you are actually married on the point of view on the Philippine culture.
I know.
And immigration officer that will be doing the interview with you would notice that when you have your hand on the table, you have your hand on your lap, and if they're actually like, I mean, it may not be a big issue for them, but we would never know how they interpret that.
It's a good thing we have the wedding license
Yes.
from the official one.
Yes, correct. And your
We have 2 kids.
kids would be
That are ours.
yeah, a testament of that. But however, for those people who don't have kids as of the moment, and they're already married at that point and they're applying for the spousal visa, especially if they will be your subscribers, I think that would help also to establish really to prevent them on not asking more questions. I mean, they will ask verification, but if you can actually tell them when you stand there that, hey, we're married, that your gestures, your non-verbal communication, I think it would make the visa interview easier. I totally admire for you because
Small details.
yeah, small details like one of the small details that will be like a denial of your visa application would be right filling up of the forms.
Oh yeah, that's why I have you guys. You guys do that.
Yeah. So,
that's another advantage. They do the nitty gritty,
Yeah, those are small things
tedious work.
on your NBI clearance, because if your middle name is actually categorized as the middle name in the Philippines, that's not right.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 names and first name and middle name, that's your first name. The middle name normally in the Philippines is on the Philippine culture setup. That's the surname of our mother. And if that does not conform on your surname, I'm talking on the western side right now, that should be your first names. That should not be tagged as middle name.
Yeah.
That is a ground. When you submit marriage certificate which is non-PSA, that will be
yeah.
a grounds for denial of your visa.
Yeah, that's why you got to follow that PSA right away from America, wherever you're at.
And mind you, during the application process in Manila, it will be received by the Bureau of Immigration before it will reach to the office of the Commissioner, Bureau of Immigration Commissioner, which is the last approval of the visa application. It will pass through first with one derogatory check in the Philippines. So if you have some criminal records here, pending cases, that may affect your visa application. Second, it will pass through an immigration officer, which are lawyers in the Philippines. Like non-submission of the PSA, like the marriage civil registry only, would be tagged as a mere scrap of paper. We have experienced that, and they have come to the office and say, what happened? Okay, that's not the end of the line. You are legally married. That's a situation that can be addressed. So what we did, if there will be a certain denial, that can still be addressed through filing a motion for reconsideration. Like if they explain it. Our attorneys also will help you draft that particular affidavit, attesting and addressing and complying to what is the initial denial grounds. Because we have lawyers at our firm, and one of our lawyers happens to be an accountant. So that's how serious we are. That's having the services of the lawyers within your firm is not that cheap. So that's how we attest really that, like, if a lawyer would actually, if an immigration lawyer in the perspective of his or her profession as a lawyer, they would outrightly know that that affidavit is prepared by a lawyer or not.
Yeah. Yeah,
They would see
that
by the
helps.
term that the terminologies itself is like
Yeah, that alone.
they can see.
Yeah.
I was once have the experience on the other side of my profession as a real estate broker. Some agents would just like to get a pro forma or format from the internet for the special power of attorney.
Mhm.
And now once we have our lawyer in our place, okay, when I compare it, I'm not a lawyer, but when you read it, you can tell that it's prepared by a lawyer or it's just like a pro forma being downloaded from the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. And if you can actually prevent any hassles that might pop up along the way, and I think that would give you a peace of mind living here in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
I think that's why a lot of expats just choose to have you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, take care of that paperwork. So
And when the instruction really is to do our best to really finish what we have on the table, what our foreign friends entrusted us, and we'll make it as easy as possible for them.
okay, final question.
Sure.
I have, because I don't want to wear you out. Okay.
I'm still good for an hour.
Oh no! We got more batteries. Oh my God! So, 13A visa. Once I get the permanent, once that happens, I know it's going to take actually a couple of years total. You know, the probationary year, then the final for the. How long is it good for at that point where I have to deal with it again? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years on the permanent visa?
Okay. The probationary will be up until 12 months probation.
Right. So I figure 1 year.
Okay. If after that, as long as the marriage is there, you
Oh yeah, still married.
Yeah.
Ah, you gotta stay married.
As long as the marriage is
Guys.
there. Separation, the Bureau of Immigration
Ah.
ruling, you need to downgrade back to visa. You need to revert that. That's the catch. And I would like to highlight that because
That's a good point.
some of our subscribers who are Americans, once they have the foreign Filipino going there, Filipino spouse, and they have been granted with that spousal or marriage visa, they're gonna have that for a lifetime, regardless if the American spouse had already passed away.
Oh,
Here
and
is-
even passing away, not just breaking up.
Yeah. So
Like-
we need
Like
to
if you live in separate households or something's you split up, does that?
that's a grounds for them to cancel and downgrade back to
These are good points.
Yeah.
Very good points.
Small details that will actually
Yeah, like my wedding ring.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there are foreigners right now sad to say that hey JR, it's okay, and it's okay,
Well, they might get away with it for a while
Yeah.
if they hide it.
they can do it at their own risk.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
However, we would
Wow,
like
that's
to
something to think about too.
yeah.
But normally, if all's well and stay together, is it 5 years? You're good. And you have to check in every year with them on the permanent.
Once you have the amendment from probation to permanent,
Yes.
that visa would be good up until you have your marriage, not lifetime. Up until you have your marriage.
Oh.
Let's just say that would be the most
But don't
appropriate
they
one.
have to do paperwork every year? Don't they have to check in
Yeah.
with them or something?
That's another story. That's all. That's a minor compliance of your visa because
Just to check in to make sure
Just-
you're still
just a
married and all
check-in,
that.
yes.
Like to see if you're still married.
yes.
And pay them. It's only like 300 pesos a year or
Yes.
something, whatever it was,
Okay.
whatever it is.
After the amendment, once you have the permanent visa, first obligation is number 1, you need to do your annual report.
Okay, annual report. Is that something you guys help with?
Yes, that's what you actually mentioned a while ago, a few seconds back. That's on a yearly basis. That would normally happen every first 60 days of the calendar year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the January 1st up until last day of February or first day of March approximately.
Okay, okay.
The second obligation is renewal of the ACRI card, which will normally happen every 5 years.
That's the one that's every 5 years.
Yes.
That's the one.
Provided
Still married.
still married.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
So every 5 years, because the reason why it would,
ACR card every 5 years.
yes,
That's
not the visa.
not the visa.
not-
Visa till while you're married. Is it? While you're married.
Yeah.
As long as you're married.
Correct.
Oh, so the visa's good indefinitely as long as you're married.
Yeah.
But the ACR card's
Indefinitely.
the one you have to want.
Indefinitely once you are still married.
Yeah.
Because there's another visa option. If your spouse passed away,
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, you have your children. That's not yet, I think, on the bag for the Bureau of Immigration to have the visa of a foreigner having child here in the Philippines. That's not available as of the moment. However, if you're over 50 years old, one option would be the retirement visa.
Mm.
That's a lifetime visa.
That's a separate thing than what
That's
we've
a
been talking
separate
about.
thing. Yeah, lifetime. That's not coterminous to any marriage contract. Marriage, or shall we say, what would be the terminology that will be accepted by the foreign friends? That would be lifetime.
Mm.
That's another option. I mean, there are people right now, especially from the Western countries, who are like, hey, JR, I'm actually panicking right now because this and that. This is my situation. My spouse passed away, and what will be the visa that I have? Hey, don't worry. There's still a lot of visas that will be available on your table.
Like say that
Retirement.
a surviving spouse,
Yes, foreign spouse.
foreign spouse had custody of the children in the Philippines,
Yes.
and needed to stay here.
Yes.
And then there would be a pathway for him,
Yes.
person or
Yeah.
wife to stay.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So there's still
A lot of stuff here about you.
yeah,
Maurice sitting right over here. Yeah.
there's a lot of visas that will be available. All you just need to know is we just need to know your situation.
Yeah, the situation.
Talk to us, and we'll
Well-
actually lay it down for you.
Well, in our situation, as you see, in our household, this marriage visa 13A seems to be the one.
Yeah, that
that
would be
we need
perfect
to,
for
we
you.
need to do that now. And down the road, we can always do something else.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, and I hope I think you wore me out, but that was
Yeah.
very good. You hit
I'm
a
still
lot
good
of great
for another hour, though.
topics. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave comments if you have some, and we'll see you in the next video.
Mhm.
Bye bye.